Well, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, and I'm here to review what was the least to say a very eventful playoff semi-final between Aston Villa and West Bromwich Albion. It did finish 2-1 to Villa yesterday afternoon, and there's a lot of talking points to go through. I think a lot of the talking points are Albion related, a lot of decisions going against us, but I'm just here today to talk about what happened in the game and what my opinions and thoughts on it. So we'll get straight into it. I'll show you the goals and stuff, and obviously the first real moment to talk about is an incredible save from Jed Steer to deny Jay Rodriguez. You know, it's a lovely strike from Rodriguez on the edge of the box, and how Jed Steer manages to get his right hand on it to tip it onto the bar is a very, very incredible save to make to let us not go 1-up. So fair play to Steer, really did a good job there. And then obviously a few minutes later we get the first goal. Glenn Whelan makes an uncharacteristic mistake. You know, I've watched him for Aston Villa a few times recently and he's not been too bad. And there was obviously question marks of why he was starting in front of Conor Horan. And he made the mistake, he miscontrolled the ball, and Gal went through, you know, as a clinical striker, and he buries the chance. 1-0, fantastic start. I think a lot of fans at the beginning of the game were very worried that we were going to get slaughtered, and to get a goal was very pleasing, as you know, to get an away goal, try to sit back and try and get the 1-0 victory to take back to the Hawthorns. You know, it was a very good start, and obviously from then on in we knew Aston Villa were going to dominate the ball. Of course, Jimmy Shan came out and said that he would be happy with a draw, so we knew we were going to sit back, allow Villa to come on to us and try and break us down. And I thought that, you know, for a long period of the game, we were defending very, very well. You know, we were limiting McGinn, Grealish, Abraham to very few chances. I think that's when Dean Smith had to ring the changes of bringing Adama and El Ghazi off because they were having no influence on the game. And obviously, Villa had quite a few chances in the first half. Real no clear-cut ones, I don't think, but we managed to limit them to opportunities. But of course they were going to get chances with dominating the ball. And obviously the story of the second half was the same again. Aston Villa piling the pressure on. We were trying to go for the 1-0. It wasn't very exciting from a West Brom fan's perspective. It was very much like Pulis-esque, where we would get a goal and sit back and try and just get that 1-0 win. And obviously there were a good few major talking points in this second half, and we'll get straight into it. But first we'll get onto the Villa equaliser. You know, I think for large periods of the game I thought we were dealing with Grealish and McGinn well. We weren't getting sucked into Grealish trying to bring the ball out wide and drawing a foul. I thought we were very organised across the midfield. But for that one moment where Villa scored, for a lot of players in our team got sucked towards the left hand side of the pitch where Grealish ran, and then it opened up the space for Horan, who had come on for Whelan. And as soon as we got drawn out, you can't leave a player like Conor Horan on the edge of the box with that much space. He possesses such a brilliant shot, and obviously Grealish finds him, and unfortunately for us he scored a worldie, but fair play to him. But that's what we can't do. We let ourselves to that one moment. We didn't do it any of the first half and the majority of the second half, and then we just let ourselves get sucked into Grealish bringing the ball, and Horan smashes it into the back of the net. I think if we were doing the same thing and we'd had an organised midfield and we'd only had a few of them going to the ball instead of the whole midfield, I think we could have got a block in from Horan's shot. But nevertheless, it's a fantastic strike and Villa are back into it, and I think when that happens, it's a talking point of when Villa are going to score, not if they were going to score, because obviously we were allowing them to come on to us far, far too much. We were dropping deeper and deeper and deeper, and it was only a matter of time before Villa were going to score. And then on to the second Villa goal, and obviously Jack Grealish coming into the box. Kieran Gibbs slides in through the back of him, and he goes down, and the referee points to the spot, and now Albion have really crumbled. And I was sitting there watching it thinking, how have we done this? How have we managed to just let it slip from our grasp so easily? But if you look at the replays back, Jack Grealish has evidently dived. There's no contact from Kieran Gibbs on Jack Grealish. He's made it look like as if Gibbs has clipped his ankle because Gibbs has gone through the back of him. And for me, it's no way a penalty. And I think the FA need to investigate this because, you know, we've had players that have been banned on our team. Dwight Gale for 2 games. I think Tom Lawrence, there was a little bit of contact, so I can see why they didn't ban Tom Lawrence for the playoffs. But I think with Jack Grealish, there's no contact from Gibbs. There's absolutely no contact. And I think that, you know, Grealish could pick up a ban. I don't know. It seems like the EFL are really against us this year. But, you know, I was just thinking that that was something they should look at. Not from an Albion point of view, of course. We'd rather have Grealish not in the Villa team to help us boost our chances of getting to the final. But I'm just saying from a neutral point of view, I think that, you know, it's not good for the sport to keep diving around. Of course, Grealish has a reputation of diving. But obviously, that's up to the EFL and the FA to decide. And then, obviously, Tammy Abraham steps up for the penalty. And I think he's got a very similar record, I think, to Jay Rodriguez from the spots. I only remember him missing 1 penalty this season against Rotherham. So, and of course, it's a great penalty from him. He sticks it right in the right corner. Johnston goes to the left-hand side, and obviously it's 2-1 to Villa, and it's a dramatic turnaround with 2 goals in 4 minutes for Villa. And then, obviously, we're going to then try and chase the equaliser, and we're just thinking, how has it gone so drastically wrong? But then there's obviously the last 2 talking points. Mason Holgate is in the box, and Tammy Abraham pushes him over. We're all appealing for a penalty. The referee doesn't give it. And looking back at it, I think it is a penalty. But I just think the referee has been influenced to not give it by Mason Holgate's reaction to going down. For me, it's a very, you know, it's not a great reaction. As soon as Abraham pushes him, he's looking at the referee and trying to influence the referee and giving a penalty. But I think that reaction has really decided that the referee should not give it, and I can see why he's not given the penalty, because Holgate's reaction for me is far too dramatic, and I think that's why the penalty was not given. So I've got no complaints about that, really. It is a penalty, but I can see why the referee's not giving it from Holgate's dramatic reaction. And obviously the final talking about, and probably the most important talking point, is the sending off of Dwight Gale. He was booked for time wasting, and for me, I've got no complaints about the yellow card for time wasting. Jimmy Shan did say he was walking up to the ball every time. I understand that, but for me, when it's about 55 minutes, 60 minutes in your time wasting, you know, we've seen a lot of players get booked for it, particularly Sam Johnston, time wasting for goal kicks. You just can't do that. You've got to get on with the game, and it's embarrassing for an Albion supporter, particularly, to just see us time wasting at 1-0 with 60 minutes gone. It's not good enough. So I can understand why the referee's given a yellow card, but I think for the second yellow, I think, what is he supposed to do? You know, he's got into a position. You know, Morrison has whipped a lovely ball across. Gale's trying to get on the end of it. There's no malicious intent to hurt Jed Steer, but he's gone over. I think Jed Steer has really made a meal of that and tried to influence the referee to make the decision to give him a red card, and it's worked. I think if Gale doesn't go in for that ball, the West Brom supporters are going to be livid that he's not challenged for the ball when we need an equaliser. He's just gone in to compete for the ball, try and get his foot on it, and I think it is never a second yellow in a million years. And because it's 2 yellows, we're not allowed to appeal it, and, you know, even if we do get through to the final, Gale will miss the playoff final, which is an incredible blow and a real shame. I think if you'd have said to me we'd lose 2-1 at Villa, still have Gale and Rodriguez, 1 goal behind, I'd have been very confident at the Hawthorns that we could have pulled it off and gone to the final. But now, only having Jay Rodriguez as our only senior striker, I'm really not confident. It could go either way. But not having Gale there, not having Robson Carney there, only having Rodriguez, you know, it's a question of what do you do in the playoffs in the second. Well, sorry about that, lads. My camera stopped recording on my iPhone because it got too hot. Of course, it is a very sunny day today outside, so I'll try and make it quick. I was just going on about the team selection, about Gale not being there. So I was thinking, do you play Montero? Do you stick Phillips up top with Rodriguez? It's a very major talking point. Who's going to play up front with J-Rod? You know, what's the formation going to be? We're going to stick the same formation or change it up? It's a very, very big talking point about that. And obviously, you know, heading into the home leg, my thoughts about it, we can easily win this game. You know, I think Aston Villa showed that, you know, they didn't play brilliantly at home. You know, I don't think, you know, can they play better away? Will it be a better performance from them? If it isn't, I think we've got a major chance of getting to the final. If we can get a goal early, settle the nerves, and then try and get another one in a very competitive game, I think we can do that. I wouldn't be surprised if it went to extra time, and potentially even penalties, because it is a Midlands derby with a lot of drama. So anything can happen. It is football after all, and the playoffs have some incredible drama in it, so you never know what's going to happen. But hopefully, as I say, I hope it goes in West Brom's favour. But anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed this review, make sure you give it a like. Comment down below your thoughts of the game. What do you make of the incidents? What do you think is going to happen in the second leg of the playoffs? Do you think Albion can pull it off and get back in this game and get to the final? Let me know, and subscribe as well, and I will catch you guys soon for the second leg of the playoffs.